Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! Ruview, Season 8, Episode 8, Book Ball.
Some business up front.
Yes.
We finally have shirts and merch available. We'll put a link down below in the description. And if you feel inclined, buy some.
Yeah.
And we're also going to take like requests if you want some of your favorite
like
hashtags
we can put different,
or sayings in our little speech bubbles.
Yep.
So like write in the comments and let us know, what you want us saying.
If anything.
If anything. Or just buy the ones we already made. This week was
crazy.
What? I have not yelled at my TV that much since I watched Jeopardy tonight. It's like a lot of just screaming at the TV.
It was full on cray Derrick.
It was so much crazy. There was multiple layers of it was like
crazy.
A 5-layer cake of crazy. Like it was just like, oh, what's coming next? It's getting worse.
I feel like Derrick somewhat had a similar journey to Thorgy.
Yep.
Where it was this like rapid bipolarity where it's just like, I'm delusional and I think I'm perfect and fabulous.
Yes.
And then being like, oh my god, but I'm gonna go home because I'm not good enough for this. So what am I gonna like? She just kept...
and Derrick's way of handling that was, I'm gonna be a cunt.
Yes.
I have one thing to say. I'm not that smart.
Whoa.
Sorry to be so blunt, but that is what happened this week.
That
is 100% accurate, because what the fuck? So anyway, should we break down the episode step by step?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, do we want to talk about Thorgy's message on the mirror? So Thorgy wrote, like, sort of this passive-aggressive... That's how I would describe Thorgy.
Yeah.
Passive-aggressive.
Top 3, Naomi, Bob, and Derrick. That was shady. Thorgy.
So was that shade on Derrick? Like, ha ha ha, we all know that's not gonna happen. Or was it shade on Kimchi and Chi-Chi being like, I don't think you bitches can beat Derrick to the top?
Once again, Thorgy's shade and message was unclear.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know.
Clarity concept, not strong with her.
So I'd just like to say that I'm really thrilled that there's like a 5th or 6th contestant, and it is Bob's handbag. It's
Walk to the club, purse first.
Purse first. I just love that it's like their mascot at this point.
Yes.
Walk to the club, purse first. Bam!
So the mini challenge was...
The puppet challenge.
The puppet challenge.
Which I think is so silly and fun.
It's very fun. I always like it.
Because everybody loves puppets.
So Bob had Kimchi.
Yes.
And it was kind of a repeat of Naomi's reads from last week.
It was.
I mean, I know that, like, that's...
They had just come off of it,
so it seemed very, like, oh, you're doing a spit take. Oh, she's falling down a lot. Like, I know that those are things to come for her for, but, ooh, I just heard those jokes.
It wasn't Bob's best work.
No, it was, like, fine.
Yeah, I thought Naomi's puppet of Derrick was pretty funny. Particularly,
really funny.
And I just took this piece of fabric and sewed it together with a button.
She made her Wizards of Drag outfit, like, to a T. And
it
I
was
like,
really great.
in love with it. It was
Yeah.
amazing. And Kimchi had Chi-Chi, and she was really funny.
And then...
Oh my god, and then Chi-Chi was, like, decidedly the best.
Decidedly.
Her impression of Bob was so many jokes.
I have a big mouth. I think I'm all that, even though my wigs look like Chi-Chi. Yeah! Jokes.
Derrick had Naomi. And
Derrick went in for her.
It was that thing we talk about where, like, that's not a read.
That's
just mean.
Your New York was really bad.
Damn, shady.
And it was, like, evident in the room that everyone was like, girl. At the beginning of the episode, Naomi was like, look, you paint your face like a woman would paint her face. Right. That's not drag.
Right.
So that's what got the ball rolling, I think.
Right.
Because then Derrick, I think, was like, simmer.
Yes. I think, and then Derrick just really doubled down, and then they would, like, Derrick would say something.
Bitch, I had tough skin.
It looks like it.
And then Naomi would come back.
And Derrick has thin hair.
Wow.
And so then Derrick would just double down and, like, now she's really pissed.
Mm-hmm.
and defensive.
It was very awkward.
It was really awkward.
But it was always Derrick saying something very rude.
Although, I will say, I was okay with the Raven read.
Remember, honey, I paint for the Las Vegas stage, where you actually have to look like someone. You just have to look like Raven.
But it didn't make any sense.
And no, it didn't.
If Derrick had straight up just made his puppet Raven, that would have been the best read, and it would have been so funny and clever.
That would have been.
Never gonna happen.
No.
Not in Derrick's
Oh my God,
hands.
that would have been so
How
funny.
would that have been? It was just like,
Hi, I'm Raven. I'm Naomi Smalls.
That would have been fucking epic.
Yes.
Didn't happen.
Nope.
Popcorn, please. Also, I just realized, whatever happened to the shade tree?
Oh yeah, that fell apart. Well, and like,
Well,
then coming for her later, being like, you're just a model, you're not a performer, you don't have talent, because it doesn't take talent to be a model and just take a picture.
There was a lot of talk about how modeling is not A, performative, which it is,
Yes.
B, a talent, which it is. Like, it was just like a lot of just dismissive, like, you're a model, that's not a thing.
Yeah, you're just pretty. And it's like, well, but no, she's actually really talented.
Well, like,
And-
aside from that fact,
Yeah.
modeling is like a straight up a job, a
Yes.
thing. It
Yes.
takes talent. Like, maybe it's not rocket science, but it's a thing.
It is.
And they were acting like,
Yeah.
The topic became, well, I am a model, and
Yes.
forever for her to tell me that she's also a performer.
Here's the thing. Derrick thinks that he's just hilarious and witty and such a sassy, smart little fucker. But he's not. He's just not.
says, like, his impersonation of Naomi was so terrible. He kept being like, oh, you're making it so easy for me to just, like, make fun
Yeah,
of you.
keep giving me more material.
It's called my Naomi Smalls. Keep giving me material, honey.
Just like, are you in 3rd grade still?
He's not reading her.
No, not really.
He's just like, you suck.
I'm honestly angry with the judges that they didn't come for Derrick in episode 3 with this shit. If they had just been like, look, we told you last week you need to do a different look than Brittany. That doesn't just mean the clothes, that means your face. You need to do drag, you need to do makeup, you need to do something.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me because she clearly doesn't know how to do drag. She decided to do drag for Halloween and went as Britney Spears.
Yeah.
And someone probably did her makeup. And she looked great and people were like, oh my God, you look exactly like Britney Spears.
I mean, work. She turned that into a career.
Exactly.
But...
And that's great. And you came into this competition being like, well, I'm going to do me, but do me means pretend to be Britney Spears. And
yeah, Naomi was
I'm
like,
annoyed.
who is Derrick Barry?
Exactly.
And she was like, ugh.
The fact that Derrick got to the final 5
Yeah, that's a bunch of
this season without knowing who the fuck Derrick Barry was as a drag queen is unacceptable. Mm-hmm. It really makes me pissed at this show.
I agree.
Because it's just like, come on. She needed to have the revelation that she had in this episode 6 episodes ago.
I agree with everything you were saying.
Like, you know, it's too late, girl, to start growing now. And it may be for her own career and everything, that'll be great and she can learn. But if you don't know how to fucking do your eyebrows, get out of here.
I mean, she did.
I just can't. Yeah, she did. Yes! Derrick's gone! Oh, that's so mean. But I feel bad. Okay, so Derrick liked our Instagram photo of her and Herman Munster. And I'm like, ooh. I mean, I guess maybe she can laugh at herself, or...
I don't think she got it.
I don't know. Anyway, but it made me think, like, I feel bad. I felt bad more so that week because they're obviously all talented.
Yes.
And, like, I don't, you know, it's easy to get in this chair and be like, oh, you know, BitchyBitchyJudge Judge. And I don't want to take away from it. But also, that being said, still gonna read a bitch. I never thought I would have to say this.
Oh, my.
You get into Drag Race.
Yes.
I need a Snatch Game look. I need to know how to sew.
Yep.
I didn't know that I had to say I need to know how to do my eyebrows and drag makeup. I think when Ross called her out and was like, I think you're out of your league, essentially.
And I don't know that you're at this level.
The thing is that I don't think she has the creativity or the inventiveness.
Reference points.
Or the reference points that these other bitches have that's making them succeed.
Yeah.
Naomi can go into this challenge or the Wizard of Oz challenge and pull some freaking shit out and look fabulous because she is creative and skilled. And Derrick doesn't have that. Derrick could go and win a pop divas contest, hands down. Sure, go for it. Although actually no, she couldn't because Chad Michaels would be like, oh bitch, I'm Cher. But way out of her league.
Absolutely. I feel like she's obviously insecure.
Yeah.
Has a lot of walls.
Yeah. She gets really defensive.
Very defensive because I think no one challenges her in the life she's been living. She's living in a bubble where everyone's like, you're fabulous, we love you, you're the best.
Yeah.
And that's not great.
Well, you know,
for a creative person.
No, it's not. I don't think she wants to be a drag queen. I think she thinks of herself as a celebrity female impersonator.
Yeah.
And she thinks that's artistic. The highest form of art.
And mixing them with famous paintings, because I feel like celebrity female impersonation is such an art form.
Right.
But yet, that's what her corset looked like? That was the
collage? I mean,
once
it
again,
legitimately looks like, you know, like my binder in 6th grade.
I was gonna say,
it
felt like a project that I would have made for, like, you know, some class in 7th grade.
I want to know about this corset making class in 7th grade.
Right.
This week in the workroom,
Yeah.
Rue really dug in.
Yes,
and I was
loved
happy
it.
because
I did too.
There's been something missing from Bob for me this whole time. There's not a vulnerability.
Yep.
And this week, Rue just flat out was like, what scares you? And he told this very emotional and lovely story about his mom being sick and all these things, and it was very honest. And it made me like Bob more.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, Rue? You know exactly what's going on.
Totally.
It doesn't seem, to me at least, who knows? It does not seem like Rue is like, yeah, get emotional, cry.
No.
She genuinely is like, I want you to be the best fucking drag queen you can be.
Exactly.
I am seeing what you're lacking, and I'm going to bring that shit
Yes,
out of you.
she has really great, like, I guess, intuition, or, I don't know the word exactly, but, like, especially, like, you saw it with her conversation with Kimchi.
Like Rue would be a great therapist.
Absolutely, because she just has such, like, I guess, wisdom, or, like, old souliness. Like, she's very just like...
She's just like, I've fucking been there. I have done it all. I've seen it all. Don't bullshit me. You know, she gets it.
Like, she gets it. And I really love when you have these moments where she's, like, teaching.
So she, like, dug in with Bob, and then she dug in with Kimchi.
Kimchi's story.
I mean, I have hope. I feel like she's getting there.
I do too. I'm really concerned though too. I mean, like, just on like a personal level.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't show her mom's picture.
Well, it was like blurred out.
Well, right. So I'm assuming that means that her mom is not okay with it because she wouldn't give the rights.
Which is a bummer.
Which is a real sad thing.
Yeah.
That's real sad.
So the challenge this week was the book ball.
Yes.
And they had to do 3 looks.
3 looks, and then, boom, surprise!
Well, shocker.
A 4th look and performance.
Yes.
This was a lot.
It was a whole lot.
Although it always is.
They always.
This challenge is
the ball
always,
is always a lot. So they had to do baby realness. That's my mom realness.
Yep.
And
autobiographical eleganza extravaganza.
I was actually just shocked that not one of them was like, I'm gonna do my drag mom. Just based on the past, I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, they, for the most part,
I think because
they
all of
have
them
fairly good relationships with their moms.
Yeah.
But it was just like, that's kind of nice.
But that would have been fun if someone did, like, oh, my drag mom.
Yeah,
like, because it's about, like, the evolution of where you came, you know, how you came to be now.
How your drag came to be, or whatever, yeah. So Amy and David Sedaris were the guests.
Yep.
I, like, squealed. I was so excited.
Yep.
Strangers with Candy. And they had to do, like, a Jerry Blank-inspired musical experience.
Thing. Yeah.
It wasn't really a musical number. Musical performance. Whenever they do the ball, it's always like 3 looks and this, and something always like falls. Like, everyone is like, oh fuck, we have to do this fucking like, let's just do it and like get it over with. And that's kind of how it felt. It was like fine.
Yeah.
Although in the rehearsal, Derrick's like rabid squirrel impersonation was very upsetting. And then Chi-Chi being like, girl, it's the top 5. I'm not going to correct her. I was like, yeah, that's the correct answer.
Yep.
So in the workroom, Derrick finally decides to try and paint his eyebrows for the first time. And my favorite moment of the entire episode might have been when Naomi was like, okay, let me check your face. And she's like, relax your eyebrows.
Relax?
That is. That's relax.
Derrick's like, this is relax. And she's got like insane surprised eyebrows.
like Botox face.
And I did appreciate, like, Naomi's a really good person. And I did appreciate that they had such a fight and Naomi was the bigger person.
I'm gonna do everything I can to bury the hatchet.
I will say this.
Yeah.
She played that card real good.
Yeah, she did.
Because, I'll help her. I'll be the first one to help her change her eyebrows. Oh, that's all she asked me about?
Well,
she looks a hot-ass mess?
I said she was a nice person. I didn't say she was a saint.
Or an idiot.
Yeah, or an idiot.
She knew what she was doing.
She knew what she was doing. She's like, oh, I'll help you.
I'll help you dig your own grave. By all means.
Like,
let's do it by person.
By person.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of looks.
Yeah, so Kimchi
did a flower-inspired...
Yes.
Started as a sprout.
Yep.
At first, because she was the first one to walk out in those giant heels, and I was like, yes, I'm living for this. And then it was like, oh, everyone has those. Yeah. Okay, that's less cool. Her first look was fine. It was like a silver caftan.
It was fine. I mean,
everyone.
It was great with the shoes. If that was like her look, and then once I found out that everyone had the shoes, I was like, oh, that's less of a look. But I guess it still is a look.
And then her mom look was a very, like, traditional Korean...
was it North Korean or South Korean? Sorry.
Anyway. Her makeup was beautiful, and I really liked her hair.
I did too.
With, like, the things... and the
she's fabulous.
I mean, it was just, like, amazing. But like, David Sedaris said at the end, he goes, I think her sort of closeted, like, respectful, like, mournful performance while in that outfit was just as good of acting, showing off her acting as being hilarious in the Jerry Blank thing. So I was like, good on you, David Sedaris. And then her fucking book look was amazing. She looked like a pixelated flower.
Yes.
Like, she looked like she was straight out of Mario. Amazing.
She is
fucking amazing.
I think the reason, and I just decided this.
Okay.
I think the reason I want Kimchi to win is because she's such an artist. And I would say more so than anyone else who's ever been on the show.
I feel like I'd have to agree with that. Maybe
Nina Flowers or Rogers.
Like, Rogers.
Maybe Raja. Those were the two people I thought of. Yes. Raja or Nina Flowers. Because Raja also was but not the same extent. Like, Kimchi is an art queen. Who knew that existed?
I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see what Kimchi does for the finale. Because you know it's going to be fucking epic.
Epic. Like, it has to be.
I hope she makes it. I'm going to be really bummed out if she doesn't.
I know. Anyway, let's keep going.
Naomi's looks were literal baby realness. Like, she was in a fucking diaper and, like, a Norma Desmond turban. It was like Norma Desmond as a baby. And I was like, yes, I love it. Yeah. Naomi's mom look was sort of like a Barbara Stanwyck, like, silken robe, like 40s silken robe look. But then she was holding two babies and she just looked great. Like, she looks spectacular.
Yeah. The picture and, like, the mom, it was also emotional and, like, really sweet.
Yes.
And she, like, killed the look, and so I was, like, all about it.
Yes. And then her third look, although great, did remind me of toilet paper caught in a windstorm.
It literally looked like toilet paper caught in a windstorm.
I really liked it. I really liked her look.
It was like toilet paper caught in a windstorm, but, like, the best that could ever possibly look in the most fashion-y, like, beautiful, amazing way. That's all I meant. I didn't mean it as a read. It just, like, it looked like, you know.
Newspapers caught in a windstorm.
Newspapers caught in a windstorm. She looked great.
I think she had an excellent episode.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Bob did like a...
I loved Bob's like...
Bob's baby look was like...
Bam Bam.
Pebbles and Bam Bam realness.
But like real cute, like, you know, plain, like she just like, you know what it is, she's a good actress.
She embodied a baby. Like,
yeah. Or like a little kid playing with her mom's
happiness.
clothes.
Like, yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. She embodied that. I mean, she sells it. Amy Sedaris was like, I don't know, I just really liked her, you know.
Because she sells her look. She sells herself.
Sell the garment.
Yep.
And her mom look was very realness. It was a little downplayed. Like, it looked almost like Chi-Chi in her political campaign last week. It was like, I don't know about pantsuit. I'm just going to say it.
I mean, yeah.
There wasn't a strong... It was like almost too realness. I've yet to see a look from her that I was just like, flawless.
Exactly.
Her book look, it was...
I really liked it.
It was cute. It wasn't a book.
Well, and so here's...
It was cardboard.
I mean, I feel Michelle on that. She didn't embrace the materials.
She just didn't embrace the materials. I mean, this always seems to happen to someone, even on like Project Runway, when they have unconventional challenges. Someone will just like go into a tunnel and just be like, I've like lost my mind and I can't turn back. And
it wasn't bad. That's the thing. It was. I thought she looked good.
No, but
she looked glam. I think the problem was too that she got in her head about being glam.
I don't think it's something she wants to do.
No, not especially.
She was like resisting. It's sort of like when Michelle was like, Alaska, I need to see just like a straight up pretty look from you. And Alaska resisted and resisted and resisted. And she finally did it. It was like, fine, here.
Yeah.
And it was like great. And then she was like, can we move on? Like, it was just like, ugh. So Chi-Chi's baby look was also a caftan. It was a purple caftan. Lots of caftans were happening in the baby department.
Oh, with the big bracelets.
Yeah. Kimchi was in a silver caftan. Bob was in a leopard print caftan.
Yep.
And Chi-Chi was in a purple caftan. Apparently babies like caftan.
Yeah, well.
And then Chi-Chi's mom look was like this fabulous leopard print tube dress.
Yeah. That she finally padded.
Yeah, she padded correctly. Well, it's weird. It's like she pads when she's covered up.
Well, I think she probably doesn't have any breastplates.
Have the right pads.
So then I guess she's like afraid to do padding.
Maybe, But it looked on point.
It looked good.
She looked great. Her hair was great. Her makeup, everything. I was like into it. And then her
last look.
Her book look. She was like Ice Queen. Book Ice Queen.
Her makeup was stunning.
Yes. Well, they said it in Untucked, but I thought of it before. She looked like Mariah.
Yeah. You know who else she kind of reminded me of? Nicole Scherzinger. Which, that's a compliment.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
No, I'm serious. She's fucking gorgeous.
No, I know, but just the way.
Well.
Because that's a compliment. Everyone brought their A game. Mm-hmm. Except Bob and Derrick.
Particularly except Derrick.
Well, like, it was like everyone brought their A game. Bob brought his like B+ game.
Yeah,
and
Bob was like, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, which was a solid B+.
And Derrick brought his like D- game.
No.
F.
No.
F, Z.
No. Derrick brought his A game. His A game is just...
I mean, he certainly tried.
He tried really hard. You guys.
So...
He was up all night.
He stayed up all night. Derrick's looks this week were nightmare-inducing. I mean, so his first look was him as like a nightmare clown aerial creature person. It was terrifying.
It was pretty bad.
I'm sorry. Every time they re-showed her face, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's real bad. I loved Michelle's. Michelle had a very kind way of letting her down easy.
I have seen what you've done with your eyebrows. I acknowledge that you're trying something different, but it's going to be a journey for you.
You have a journey.
You're on a journey. Oh, so then his second look.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I forgot about this. So.
It was so bad. I feel like I would arguably say it was worse than Dry Fit.
Only because it was so much more disturbing with the backstory.
I'm reimagining her in it as a nightgown, and on the night I was conceived. No wonder my dad hit that baby one more time.
No wonder my dad had to hit that baby one more time. It was just very upsetting. So upsetting. Is he saying, like, his conception was, like, immaculate? Like, when the day I was conceived, like, changed the world, and that's, like...
Oh, no, I did not get that.
But, like, why else would you pick that as your, like, my mom is defined by the moment I was conceived. Like, that's weird.
That is weird.
You know what I mean?
Also, I guess what was weird about... Like, there's so many things that's weird about it. One, for me...
I'm dressed as my mom... sexily on the night
so that my dad would fuck me.
So my dad would be attracted to me. That he would.
That is some, like, it's not Oedipal, but I don't know. Like, that is some daddy issues. Like,
realness.
It was really disturbing to me.
It is disturbing, and I don't feel like the judges talked about it enough. Michelle was like, that was confusing and weird, and I'm uncomfortable, but that was like it?
You meant, like, I mean, what else you could say on, like, a show? I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, then the last look.
Her third look was, like, trashy Anne Margaret.
What was it? Oh.
It was, like, the corset.
The corset and the underwear.
Again, it was a bathing suit with something attached to the sides.
It was so boring.
Yeah.
And so unimaginative.
I was like, Derrick's going home.
Yeah, Derrick
is going home. Derrick's going home. Kimchi won.
Yeah!
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think she really deserved it.
Absolutely.
Although I will say that Chi-Chi was real close.
It was a tight race. Like,
yeah, it was.
I honestly wouldn't have been surprised if Chi-Chi or Naomi had won. But Kimchi's final dress is what really, I think, put it over the edge. Because it was so fucking amazing.
So I was so nervous when Bob was in the bottom two.
I never had a doubt.
Well, no. I mean, I didn't really, but, like, you never know.
Did.
Crazy,
I had to talk you through
crazy
it.
Shit can happen.
I had to talk you off the ledge. You were real worried about it. So the lip sync was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to compare anything to last week's lip sync because, like, oh my god.
But Bob did really well. You wanted to see Bob lip sync, and Bob lip synced and was good.
I asked and they answered. So Derrick left. He gave another Oscar speech.
And I thought for so long I would just be lost in Las Vegas.
This week on Unchugged, Bob realized he needed to embrace the materials.
Embrace the materials.
All about embracing the materials. I think it comes down to the whole, like, not embracing the material. But Chi-Chi embraced the materials.
Embrace the material.
Embrace the materials. And I thought this Untucked showed that Bob had some humility, which I liked.
It was. I really.
He was like, look, I fucked up. I deserve to be in the bottom. You know, and he wasn't like, I'm going to take it out on people.
No.
And he wasn't like, oh, I'm going to be a mess or I'm going to lash out or anything. He was just like, yeah, I'm going to learn this song. So I'd also like to note that almost the last thing Derrick says on this show, it's not the very last, but almost the last thing that Derrick says on this show is,
I learned a lot from everyone. I mean, even the ratchet queens, you know, even Bob taught me a few things about drag. I don't know what yet, but I'm sure I'll wake up and, oh yeah, that was a good idea Bob had.
She thinks she's so clever. That's the thing. That's what...
Well, this is my thing. Like, Bob tried to explain it this episode and be like, I don't take ratchet drag as a negative.
Right.
But she keeps saying it as a negative.
Yeah.
And I think she thinks it means something different than what it means to Bob.
And I'm afraid to know what she thinks it means.
I mean, I think I know what it means, but I don't want to say it.
She's got soul.
She's got a lot of soul. Because she's ratchet.
Can help us soul it up.
Anyway, fucking fantastic episode.
Really, really good episode.
Like, just the best.
Just craziness.
I mean, it was like a cherry on top that Derrick went home. Yes. But on top of it was just great.
It was just good all around.
It was like a banana split.
Oh my god.
Of drag.
Oh,
like,
no.
Yes.
Now I want that.
Now you want a banana split? Yeah. We can figure it out.
Maybe.
So anyway, tune in next week.
Oh yes. So yes, thank you again. We're loving all of the comments, all of the love.
Oh my god, yes. Spread the word.
Except for that one person who didn't like it, but whatever. Anyway, keep
decide.
talking to us. Tell us, like, you know, give us feedback of things you want us to talk about, stuff that
If we missed.
Yeah, if we missed anything.
So we're just like having a blast.
Yeah. I'm really gonna be bummed when this is over.
What should we do next?
Yeah, what's like the next?
We were thinking
we'll
maybe-
keep doing more
We'll do movie reviews.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe like the new season of Project Runway. Would anyone care?
Yeah, let us know if you would care about Project Runway.
I'm gonna watch it regardless.
So let us know if
Like,
we should
we do
move on to Project Runway.
Should we do a different show?
Yeah, is there something fun to talk about? What do you want us to review?
Anyway.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Like a big stick of butter.
It's like butter.